Burn Hollywood Burn, was that like made in that same?
Yeah,
Okay.
same area.
But you were like, yo, we're gonna take this one for us.
And that was no. Burn Hollywood Burn was me and Kane already was going to do it. Mm-hmm. And Cube had just come out trying to look for a studio, try to look for producers or whatever on this project, and he was in the studio at the same time. So when me and Kane was talking about, Cube was like on the couch, said, yo, I want to be on that.
Yeah.
And we both looked at him like, yeah, why not, right? And that's how it started. The most difficult thing, Kev, at that time is could you get 3 different record labels to agree on it?
Oh, yeah.
Back then, you had segregation.
Right.
You couldn't, no, we don't want them on that label, or we don't want that song over there. So I had to do a lot of, I had to do a lot of godfathering at that time to make that happen.
That's crazy. Yeah, and it's so crazy, too, because if you think about, like, how the Bomb Squad was able to somehow like revolutionize West Coast hip hop in like a way that like I don't know if they get the credit for. Like when you listen to that first Cube album.
We got our credit for it, but the whole thing is like this is like do the thing and let everybody fly with their own wings. The Bomb Squad never did the same thing twice.
Right.
And we never did 2 albums in a row on anybody. Once we do you get it, boom, you fly. Like Cube. My favorite Cube album is Kill at Will. The next thing he did after.
So good.
Yeah, so.
One of my favorite covers of all time, too. That cover's so fire.
Yeah, because he got it. Once we're there to be like an incubation lab, and once you get it.
Kill at Will didn't that have Jackin' for Beats on it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, beat changes and all that under it.
You know what's crazy? I always think when I like will listen to Jackin' for Beats, what you said about the labels, I always think back then like, how did it clear all these beats? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like it was a mixtape. Like, there wasn't the internet where you could just drop a freestyle on YouTube. Like, he had to put that out.
Well, if anybody could clear anything from independent and labels at that particular time, it would be Brian Turner. Because Brian Turner also released all the Rap Masters compilation tapes.
Yeah, I remember those.
And that took a little bit of clearance to try to get.
Because back then there was a lot of compilations that you might go to a gas station. And there'd be like a rack of tapes, and you'd be like, yo, let me grab this.
But the swap meet, the LA, Dre was making those swap meet tapes in 87, 86, and 88. It's the only place where you could find songs because they wasn't on cassette yet. It was, back then, hip hop was a singles market. They did not, you know what I'm saying? It was singles, it wasn't albums. But, if they released the 12-inch,
right,
the average person, be like, I ain't got no record player, I got a box. I'm going to play cassettes. The record labels didn't figure that out. So the swap meet DJs was the first one. I remember coming out, and we play in San Diego. They got a swap meet, outside in the parking lot. And sure enough, got racks of, tapes. I still got those tapes to this day, man. And they would have all the hits on it. And that was it.
Yo, one of my favorite remixes of all time is the Shut 'Em Down remix. I think Pete Rock. I think that's one of the greatest beats ever.
Yeah.
I love that song so much. The original is incredible. Do you remember hearing that for the first time? Like, because you guys already had a big record, but it took I feel like the Pete Rock version took a
little further.
Yeah.
Well, this is the difference in Kev. L.A. and New York are 2 different places.
Right.
And everything in between was different. Mm-hmm. They wanted that original don't, because we performed that when we had the P Rock version. Now how that started real easy. The person at Columbia, Sony, Angela Thomas, was working with Pete, and she said, "Hey, I got a young guy named Peter Phillips, and he wants to be able to do a remix." And and I was like, "Cool, let's go. We ain't got nothing to lose."
Right.
It was the first remix that we got done that Hank allowed. And it was for like the 3rd single in Apocalypse or whatever. So where we could go wrong? I mean, where could we go wrong? It's like down the line. It's 3rd single, and Pete, not only did he do Shut 'Em Down, he also did Night Train, and he did Night Train with the James Brown. So Get Up, Get Into It, and Get Involved backtrack.
Yeah.
So he delivered 2, and then it was like, should he rap on it? I was like, yeah, have him rap, him and CL. And that, to me, that's a joyful moment because I felt that it also helped them in their career too,
For sure.
a little bit. They already had their Pete Rock and CL Smooth thing jumping off, but the fact that it was on a PE remix, I think It did stuff for. It did justice for CL Smooth as much as it did for P Rock, and that did great justice for us as well.
You kind of kick off this new project, kind of saying what rock is, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You and PE have always had such a synergy with different bands and just the genre in general, whether it's Anthrax or, we talked earlier about Rage and all that. Like, what do you think it is about the energy that Public Enemy and Chuck D has always brought to the table musically, stylistically, that is like always meshed so well with rock, metal?
Louder, stronger, faster. We're going to be faster, we're going to be louder, and we're going to be stronger. I mean, it's, like you do them lyrics at that speed, you're going to keel over. The average person keeling over.
Right.
And you know what? And not to get on my high horse, but the minute I started, Public Enemy, bring the noise, pop, 109 beats per minute, 100, and even Kane doing Raw and all that. The real, the real marathon was Anthrax doing Bring the Noise.
Right.
Because thrash metal at high speeds, they take it from here
to way higher.
And, and the motto is, Kev, you do the songs or the songs do you. So it ain't no cop-out. So you cut and do it on a song, right? It ain't nothing like, I can't do the third verse. I got to stop. It's no parachute, man. And that's one thing I always just say about MCs. I say, you know what? Challenge yourself with speed. Don't think you're going to find a convenient beat. Because, if you don't challenge your lungs, man, and you spitting, then what you doing? It's easy to be in the pocket.
Right.
My moms could rhyme in the pocket.
Right.
But something that really tests you physically, I think it's a good thing to like leaders of the new school, when they trained under us, we used to have them run around the track backwards and spit verses. Very difficult to do.
Wild.
Yes.
Quite literally.
I don't know if they can do it today,
camp.
but yeah, go around the track, spit your lyrics running backwards. See where that ends up.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That would explain, why one of the greatest performers of all time came out of that. That's crazy to think about.
And then the other thing is that you could be like, chop up time.
Yeah.
But chop up time and move.
It's different.
Yeah, it's great to see Eminem.
If you're standing still,
is a master at chop up time.
Right.
But he's standing still.
Right.
Biggie stood still.
Right.
Punk and metal, they all over the place.
Yeah, I think the only guy who I could think off the top of my head,
Rollins,
that's newer.
Oh, the new guys.
Well, I guess newer is.
Tyler.
I was gonna say he's not newer, but
right.
Tech Nine. Tech Nine is.
Yeah. You can see he's in shape.
He's crazy.
He's in shape.